hate crimes are now taking place across America, but in particular in the news. We have an incident in Florida where Muslims praying were being mocked and threatened, and their prophet was being insulted. They were being insulted, and then they marched on Michigan. Okay, the white supremacists marched on Michigan. They're believing in fake news. They're believing in lies that are not true. They are possessed by the devil, and while the people that are overtly engaged in the racism are possessed by the devil, others are possessed by the devil too, to hate us, those of us that care about other human beings. Whether we be white Americans, whether we be Muslims or mixed race. What we have here right now in America is a failure to not only communicate, but show that one has a soul, to show that one hasn't been completely compromised by this world and by this system. And everybody that I know right now in 2025 has been. Now, I've been warning about 2025 for many years, at least since 2007. And I've written extensively, at least 6 years ago, about how the establishment stages events to vampire on prana and to create a certain outcome. And so while there are certain people talking about being giddy with the Schumann resonance, which is the effect of the solar flares, when the sun hits the earth and the earth is powered up by the solar flares, you have a raising of the Schumann resonance, and it can also be affected by 5G and weapons, and they do that too. They're doing both right now. They did a lot of it yesterday. They did a lot of 5G interference yesterday, according to Joni Jones. But Joni Jones, who thinks she's really intelligent, has hundreds of likes, will not call out Trump. Her spirit guides told her he's just the shit. And so I'm trying to reach through to Jody. I'm trying to reach through to others. So a lot of these white older women, they have some sort of a belief system that they are not to be opposed to or emotionally affected by what he is doing to innocent men, women, and children. Furthermore, I can't reach out to the woman in the hajib because it is a sin or haram in her religion if she was to talk to a man who's not her husband, plus I don't have a beard. To them, I'm not one of them. And I'm a Gnostic as far as religion is concerned. And I've been talking about the archonic demiurge control grid for all my life. I am a prophet, okay? And when they talk about the prophecies of Islam, which is in my father's ancestry, Maz bin Jabal, who rode with the prophet, as they say, may peace be upon him, but I'm not Orthodox. What I'm saying is there is a spiritual blueprint within me that is opposed to evil. And what people need to understand that are on the sidelines is this isn't about the religion of Islam. This is about a frequency of energy. This is about prana. This is about chi. This is about auras. And there is something spiritual about me that comes out during solar flares. And these world events seek to derail it. In my personal life, I don't have close friends to talk to about these things. It's viewed as mental illness. I'm viewed as blaming things on the sun, blaming things on the new moon, and being addicted to the internet, and that's not true. I don't receive credit for the working out and the muscle building that I do. I don't receive credit for the books that I've written. I don't receive credit for the psychic abilities that I have. And so when we talk about the many, many things that I know about the sun, which clearly must be in my ancestry and my soul blueprint, the humans on the ground are so naive and are resistant to even seeing what I predicted already. That's the past. Okay, so when we talk about me predicting events in 2025, there are many things that have already happened that fit within the box of them staging events to create a reaction. And this is a part of a long-term agenda for those that don't know to destroy the United States. Okay, and so I'm living in a world, a dark world in which I'm emotional, and I'm seeing all the signs of wickedness out there on the internet. And I'm crying out for help. I'm crying out for help. I'm crying out for help. And I'm being gaslit. This is when you know the world is against you. You need to know when the world is against you. You need to know when the world doesn't care about you. If you are a vulnerable person out there, if you're a young child out there, if you're a woman out there, if you're a man out there, you need to have it together enough to know when the world is against you. And there's a lot of people out there that haven't been affected by the racism yet, and now it's hitting them hard. It's coming in the form of a brick through the window. It's coming in the form of being shot at. You see, and when I see these things happen to these people, whether it be overseas or there, I'm affected by it because I'm half them and they look like me. And when you're dealing with in the modern American KKK system of Satanism, when these people are not of the religious or spiritual or genetic background of those people, then they won't care about those people when those people are being targeted by the president, when those people are being targeted by the governor and being called terrorists. They won't be able to put two and two together when they're lying and shit. Okay, CAIR is a Muslim advocacy group. They stand up for Muslims. They're not terrorists. And they're probably manufacturing that claim that they have sent financial support to Hamas. And even if one person may have done that, there's so much good that they have done to stand up for people that are being discriminated against. And so they have been working tirelessly to turn America into a Nazi nation, but especially Texas. And for some reason, they duped a lot of Muslims and Indians into coming here to later harm them later because they're vampiring on that pain that they're creating. Do you understand what I'm saying? That there's a master plan to vampire on the emotional pain of people, even down the line when they don't even know what's coming. It could be Biden giving the immigrants an easy way to walk into the United States without resistance with actual footage to then for that same app to be used to track them down. Same thing with asylum seekers, migrants from other places in America. And I've been watching this with horror for 5 years, 10 years with nobody at my level to even talk to me about what's taking place. They don't want to. The conspiracy theory movement is co-opted by white supremacy. And then if you look at, certain content creators, Clyde Lewis, for example, he refuses, even when he's sick and ill, to do the right thing because he is in deep with disinformation. And there are so many people out there profiting from disinformation, becoming wealthy from lies that they cook up out of their anus. That they avoid the elephant in the room and they talk about timeline shifts and multi-simulations and parallel realities instead of actually deal with the obvious fucking turd in the punch bowl reality that they help create. It's back to that, let's not deal with the reality. Let's fantasize about going to off-road planets. Let's colonize again. This is alien shit. This is alien shit. And if you look at the eyes of the black women that beat up the black woman with her cubs, you're seeing aliens with the elongated neck. Okay, when you're seeing the border patrol getting caught doing drunk things, walking into the woman's restroom, pulling out guns on drivers, you're dealing with demonic possession. When you're dealing with 5G bombarding the human population after solar flares, which should have been positives now turned into a negative, combined with fake news on Facebook, so they coordinate the bombardment with the technological attack. Either the 5G and or alien tech on human consciousness magnified by the trauma of the disinformation on the internet, i.e. they're coming to your house. Islam's going to invade your house. Islam is going to take over America. And they repeat it, and they're putting people under a hypnotic spell. And there is no real resistance from the left or the people that you would say maybe are not threatened by the Muslim mayor in New York. Let me tell you about the Arabs in New York. Let me tell you about the Arabs of New York. When have the Arabs of New York that are doing so well have ever come to my channel and my world to thank me for what I'm doing as I'm living in pain as someone who passes for one of them. Also passes for Hispanic, passes for Palestinian, passes for what? There's the potential for all different types of racial groups to harm me. And they have. And if I talk about being ethnic, if I talk about having emotions in this environment, I can get kicked out of the house. I can get 86 from a business. All of this emotionalism, as it was said to me last night, this is crazy. You sound crazy. You're blaming it on this. You're on the internet too long. These are all insults. These are all attacks. This is psychic attack. And that's what's taking place on the internet. And they're bearing false witness. This is a false flag nation. This is a false flag society where they make things up on the individual level as well as the macro level. Okay, and so Facebook will show me this hate as I'm being affected by the solar flares and the new moon, and then I'm feeling upset that I have no one to talk to about this. Okay, and I cannot talk to therapists about this particular topic. One particular person said, well, not everybody's like that. That was around the time of the Latino who was motivated by white supremacy, who went to a school in Texas and shot them all up. Elon Musk is very dominant in the state. They're going to try to run things from the state. So there's many, many psychic predictions that I've made. And here they are in Texas banning hemp gummies. For those that don't know, that's the only thing that will relieve your PTSD from trauma if you can't access the real THC. And it's available by mail, but it won't be in the coming months. What does that mean? More domestic violence, more murder, more human trafficking, more people blowing up, more people going to the mental hospital. I want to avoid those things. So what I'm going to have to do is go deeper into my reporting. I'm going to have to go deeper into my videos. I'm going to have to pour more time and energy into my videos because there's a strong, urge, if you will, that I'm feeling to go out and either megaphone, hold a sign, or have a certain t-shirt. And I don't see how, in so-called real world, exit the matrix, exit the internet, and get into the real world, how that has ever helped me. I'm not being given other options. The Christian churches treat me with discrimination because I look like I fell off the turnip truck from Gaza. And because they know they kill people and made up shit because they're not real Christians, they're watching their back. So they have to have a big black man with a big black gun. So they have to be engaged in black magic, basically, to feel safe at this so-called peace church. Everything is a lie here. Everything is a trap to take your soul here. And I don't just mean here in the Dallas area. I mean the planet Earth, but here of all places. So you have these women and others that are in other states and northern states. And they're around people who have money. They're around people that can have nice dinners. They're able to walk on sidewalks. They're able to go dancing in some cases and not be harmed. They're able to play with men on a simple level, that have simple minds, that are not complex, that are not spiritual, as they dance, dance. And they don't understand how a man who's actually exposing stuff that they're not is going to face hardship because they're not on the truth path. They're allergic to it. And that's what's going on. You have a lot of people that are allergic to the real truthers. And where they be in the Middle East, where they be in America, where they be in Mexico, those of us that are the real truthers in our communities, we don't do well with our families. We don't do well financially. We don't do well in the matrix because we were born to call out their evil. It's why we exist. There is no other reason. Not making a bunch of money. It's not being a celebrity. It's not having a bunch of babies. No, we are here to write the books that will be in existence in hundreds of thousands of years. Whereas when it comes to other people, as Onision said, no one will remember your name. No one will remember your name. The reason I came under attack and may come under attack in the future and be sacrificed in the future unless God intervenes is because I'm a powerful soul inside this short olive skin body. And I have been right, way more right than Alex Jones, Donald Trump, Biden, Amy Goodman, who doesn't predict the future. I have been right. Okay? So I'm not going to give up. These videos will continue to go deeper because you need to have real men in your world, okay, that saw this coming. And what you have with the James Gillens of the world, what you have with a lot of the white guests on Coast to Coast AM are people that continue to lie about Donald Trump being the Messiah. And so, personally, I need to come to a deeper understanding of what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with religious persecution, social persecution, spiritual persecution, ethnic persecution, intellectual, classism, gender warfare, all rolled into one. The world is against me. And if I don't understand that the world is against me, that my family is against me, that others are against me, and they've always been against me, and why they're against me. What does it have to do with soul group family ties? What does it have to do with what we're here on the earth and what we're speaking of? It has everything to do with that. If people haven't come to understand in 2025 that I am legit and I am worth talking to and I am worth supporting, then I know that these people are going to continue in 2026 to become monsters. See, it isn't just those black girls becoming monsters who beat up that mom. It's other people also becoming monsters in microaggression ways by not having empathy for people that are suffering. That is monstrous. It is as monstrous to treat me with apathy when I'm suffering as it is monstrous to see those teenagers beat up that black woman and her child. I recommend that if you're watching this right now on Facebook, on YouTube, or Substack, or another website, that you leave a comment right now, that you subscribe. And if you want to talk to me, I'm telling you right now, I'm not like the rest, and I got nothing to sell you. I really could use a friend. I can provide therapy for you and deprogramming for you. And you, some of you, have done enough analysis of me over time, or right now, that you can provide love to me. My Facebook ban is lifted at 2 o'clock today, and I'm getting ready for it.